Hey everyone, Pastor Jason here. Hope that you're doing well. Man, it has been a long time since we've been able to get together and to be together, and I can't wait till we can regather as a community again. It has been way too long. I am done with preaching to empty sanctuaries and not seeing our church together. It has been really hard. I know that it's been tough and it's been frustrating, and I know that you wish that everything was open a lot faster and sooner. I totally get it. I feel that way too. But we've been trying to do our best to make sure that we are doing it in a way that is not only faithful, but is responsible as well. I know we're all feeling pretty disconnected, and the challenge of this pandemic has been really that the finish line keeps moving. It's a moving target. It's like we think we have figured out maybe a plan to move forward, and the state of New Jersey changes its guidelines, or perhaps the CDC comes out with different findings and different guidance, and it seems like it's really hard to nail down just exactly what is next. When is it safe for us, Tower Hill, to go into our next phase of reopening? And how do we do that in a way that people will respond to? Now, like you, I've been longing to get back together, but remember our criteria that we talked about a month ago as we started going to the summer. I said we want to make sure that when we reopen, and we will, we have a plan that's coming together. When we reopen, that we do it, number one, legally, that we want to go by what the New Jersey guidelines are, and sometimes those guidelines aren't things that we necessarily like or want, but we want to make sure that we are compliant. Why? Because I don't want to see this church ruined or this ministry ruined by legal problems because we didn't comply. That is the last thing any of us want, and it's not really a good witness to the community either if we disobey the law or disregard the law as far as our plan. So we want to make sure we do it legally. The second is we want to make sure that we do it safely. Listen, this is all about loving one another. I do believe our desire to be safe is a Christian witness of loving one another, caring for those who are most vulnerable, loving each other enough to be uncomfortable for the sake of safety. So we want to make sure that we're compliant, that we're safe, and then, like we were saying before, we want it to be a good experience. We want to offer quality. We want to offer a transformational moment in people's lives that people want to invite their friends and family and community members to. So we want to make sure that it is legal, it's safe, and that it is effective. So I want to share with you our twofold plan on the next phase of reopening here for Tower Hill Church. The first part of the plan is going to begin in August, actually the second half of August. And then we do have a plan for reopening a little more once we get into September. So let me just outline these in broad strokes for you, because if you're like me, you just want to know, what's the plan? Like, when is it actually going to happen? What's going on over at that church? I haven't heard anything. We've been working on it. So I want to share with you where we are now, understanding that things can change. I mean, gosh, the state of New Jersey can change its requirements. We could have a huge spike, or the whole thing could just kind of disappear. We have no idea. Let's pray that happens, right? So here's our plan as we go into August. So let's talk about worship. Worship, at least for the rest of July and August, it's a good news, bad news thing. Here's the bad news. The bad news is we're not changing our summer plan at this time as far as our Sunday worship schedule, but hang in there. We've got something else. So what does that mean? It means 9 a.m. traditional patio service online, 10:30 live stream online contemporary service, and 8 a.m. limited engagement in-person traditional patio service. So we have those three worship opportunities throughout the month of August. Now, we're also planning on August 22nd to have a contemporary worship night. We're going to do a worship service together. We're going to fit as many people as we can in that upper courtyard area, maybe even into that upper parking lot, as long as everyone's socially distanced. We're going with 100, we think we might be able to get. Maybe we'll be able to get more, but it's going to be bring your own chairs. It's going to be a Saturday evening. We're going to have a great worship time. The band's going to be outside. We're all going to get a chance to be together. You'll hear more about that in the coming weeks. That's going to be 6:30 on August 22nd. And then we're also going to have two family events in August to kind of get our family ministries together. They really haven't been able to do a lot during this time. So the first you've already heard about, and that is our Surf Day happening on August 15th, the Summer Love Surf Day. Hope that you'll sign up for that. And then our Next Gen team is working on an event for August 28th. It's going to be a a family movie night. We have some other games and activities in mind for that. You'll hear more about that again as we get closer. So that's our plan for August, is to gradually start doing more things together. And we hope that you'll join us for that. Now, as we move into September, here is our thinking as we go into our usual launch week, which is September 13th. We are going to move our 8 a.m. patio service to 9 a.m. patio service. We're going to continue with outside worship for our traditional service during the month of September. Then at 10:30, we are going to have limited engagement worship inside for our contemporary service that will be live streaming at the same time. This will be, like our patio service, limited numbers according to what the guidelines are. You'll have to pre-register in order to go and to be there. We are also planning to offer at that hour some version of Sunday school that we could do safely. And that's something that we're working on. Again, you're going to hear those details as we get closer to the date. But our plan is we're going to start to ease into a more normal rhythm of worship as we get into the fall. We're also going to try to figure out how to best host our groups. Our youth groups are going to get started again. They're going to do mostly outside activities. So there's a lot of things in the works as we do more of a launch into September. But we're excited about it. We can't wait for this to get going. I know, like you, it can't get going fast enough. But again, we want to make sure that we do it in a faithful, prayerful, safe way. And remember this, it's your journey. It's not the church's journey to live for you. This is your journey of faith. What does God want for your journey right now? How is He preparing you for what's next, not only in this church, but in your life? I know if you're like me during this time, it's sometimes maybe God's speaking to you or calling you toward a different path. I know a few of you have contacted me and said, hey, I think I want to make this big move in my life. Listen, God's speaking. Don't miss this moment waiting for things to open up in order to engage in your faith. Do it now. You'll never know where it's going to lead. Well, so excited. Again, I can't wait to get things started again, open up again. And I hope that you'll join us online or at the patio service in the meantime. And may God be with you and your family. And let's go. Let's do this. Let's keep moving forward.